October 2nd, 2025 meeting. Mayor, can you lead us into the flag salute?
Gotcha. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Clark.
Here.
Evans. Here. Rotunda. Absent. Light.
Here.
Parker. Here. Sykes.
Here.
DeRose.
Here. This is to advise that certain advance notice has been given to the date, time, location, and to the extent known the agenda of this meeting in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. And notice of this meeting has been posted prominently at the bulletin board of the Municipal Complex lobby on the city's website and communicated in the newspaper designated by the governing body. This is to further advise that this meeting is being recorded electronically and can be viewed on the city's website at absequannj.gov. Welcome, everybody. See some new faces tonight. Just really quick, we'll go through our ordinances for introduction. Then we're going to go into what's called a consent agenda. It will open to the public for only those agenda items. And then once we close that part of the meeting, we'll finalize a few other things, have a few committee reports, and then it'll be open to the public for any questions you may have. So if you're here for an agenda item, it would be the first public comment. If you're here for anything else under the moon, it would be the second public comment. And I'll get through this as fast as I can to get to your questions. 2025 ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 13, 2025, an ordinance establishing salary ranges for the city of Absecon. May I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second. Discussion, please. This comes up every once in a while. It's whether you're hiring a new employee or somebody's getting promoted or positions going from part-time to full-time or full-time to part-time. You just have to update the general salary ordinance, and that's what this is. Anybody on council have any questions?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Evans. Yes. Light.
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Sykes.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. This ordinance will be posted, laid over, and published according to law. A public hearing, second and final reading will be held on October 16th, 2025. Bond Ordinance 14, 2025. Bond ordinance providing for the 2024 road program, appropriating $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of a $950,000 bond or notes of the city to finance part of the cost thereof. May I hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
This bond ordinance, as it states in the title, was from 2024. There was a error when submitting from previous staff, and this is just to clarify the bond ordinance. So the ordinance was part of 2024. This is ensuring that it's appropriately recorded. Roll call, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Evans. Yes. Light.
Yes?
Parker. Yes. Sykes.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. This ordinance will be posted, laid over, and published according to law. A public hearing, second and final reading will be held on October 16th, 2025. Amending the Code of the City of Absecon, Chapter 69, Article 5, 69-35, Payment of Off-Duty Assignments. Do I hear a motion for the second reading of this ordinance, 12-2025?
Motion. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Evans. Yes. Light.
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Sykes.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. Ordinance 12-2025, amending the Code of the City of Absecon, Chapter 69, Article 5, 69-35, Payment of Off-Duty Assignments. May I hear a motion to open the meeting to the public for comment or discussion of this ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Would anybody like to come up and speak specific to this ordinance? Essentially, this ordinance is bringing Absecon police officers pay when they're doing assignments like for a contractor or an electric company or a utility company to bring them in line with the surrounding municipalities as well. Any takers? May I hear a motion to close this to the public?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? May I hear a motion for the final reading and adoption of ordinance 12-2025?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Evans. Yes. Light.
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Sykes.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. Ordinance 12-2025, amending the Code of the City of Absecon, Chapter 69, Article 5, 69-35, payment of the off-duty assignments. This ordinance has been heard and approved. May I hear a motion to add Resolution 176-2025, authorizing the sale of certain city-owned lands to the consent agenda? Oh, never mind.
That one is right.
I'm pulling.
That one is.
Oh, that one is right, yes. Roll call, please.
You first and second.
Need a motion.
The motion, please.
Which one is this? one?
Yeah.
This is,
176 is the one we
176
already
is what
sold.
we've already sold.
One of Falls Landing?
Correct.
Okay. Motion.
Yes.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Light,
Yes?
Parker.
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Zeros.
Yes. Consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and will be discussed separately. I'd like to remove item 175, authorizing the sale of certain city-owned land, from the consent agenda and can be discussed after the consent agenda.
Okay.
175 is the new one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, consent agenda. 169, authorizing the increase of Resolution 129-2025 by $7,000 for uniforms and for various departments. 170, approving the insertion of special item of revenue into the 2025 municipal budget to allow for the receipt of $9,023.79 from the State of New Jersey Highway Traffic Safety. 171, authorizing the assignment of liens. 172, appointing a construction official part-time for the City of Absecon. 173, approving the insertion of special item of revenue into the 2025 municipal budget to allow for the receipt of $69,741 from the Atlantic County Improvement Authority. 174, authorizing the City of Absecon to award a contract for the City Hall ADA accessible ramp. 176, authorizing the sale of certain city-owned land. Do I hear a motion to open this meeting to the public for these agenda items only?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Would anybody from the public like to come up and speak specific to this matter? Don't all get up at once. Do I hear a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then we'll just have to go back to the other one, right?
Yeah.
All right. 2025 ordinance for, or resolution for introduction.
Do you want to do the consent?
Oh, you want to just move it first?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just move it first?
Yep.
Okay. May I hear a motion to move the consent agenda?
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Light,
Yes?
Parker,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Zeros.
Yes. John, do you want to explain to council and the public
Yep.
on what just happened?
So the reason we removed Resolution 175 from the consent agenda, this is a separate resolution for the sale of a city-owned lot. The reason it was removed was we didn't have a minimum bid inserted into that, which council needs to decide upon before we can motion second and then resolve to go to auction. So the block and lot is Block 29.01, Lot 2. I don't have, and I hadn't received before tonight, an exact assessed value for the lot, but taking a look online, my understanding and recollection is that the assessed value is $242,500. So that's what you're sitting on now. You can start the bid at that number or above it. It's completely within your discretion. So that's what we need to decide at this point.
I think when we met at Public Works, and I think we talked about it briefly, was that we're going to start around 250.
250 works.
So,
Any council members have a question?
So maybe it would be helpful for the public, I don't know if we mentioned, it's the lot across the street from the tennis courts on
Correct.
on 10th Avenue.
Yes.
The wooded lot.
Does anybody have a different of opinion, starting bid at 250,000?
Okay. So if that's the case, we'll insert 250 as the minimum bid number, and you can now act on it through motion second, and then just a vote of the council.
May I hear a motion to move the resolution 175, 2025?
motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Light,
Yes?
Parker,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Zeros.
Yes. Approval of the bill list, $1,374,451.85. May I hear a motion to accept the bill list?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans. Yes. White,
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Sykes,
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. Approval of the minutes. Closed session as to form and content only for September 4th, 2025, and regular meeting minutes from September 18th, 2025. May I hear a motion to accept these minutes?
Motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans. Yes. White,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. All right, council reports. I'm going as fast as I can, folks. Council reports, we'll start with Councilman Sykes.
We have not met since the last meeting, so not much to report right now. We're going to meet again the third Tuesday of this month.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman?
We also have not met since our last meeting. We are meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. All I have to report is this Saturday, the Absecon Police Department will be putting on a movie in the park at the Field of Dreams, and Chief Talley from the fire department asked me to mention that October 15th, they're having an open house for fire prevention. There'll be several demonstrations, and it'll be from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. on October 15th. And Chief, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, please come out and support the movie. We were supposed to have the movie last week. The rain delayed it. I think it's going to be a better week. I believe the Blue Devils might have a bye this week.
You do?
That's correct.
So the weather's great. It's nice and cool. And come out and enjoy the movie at the Field of Dreams.
What's the time again for that, Chief?
6:30 the movie starts.
Thank you.
The only other thing I have is I'd like to warn everybody all the time with the speeding and the pedestrians. So the last thing I want to say is there's a lot of buzz and a lot of concern about an ongoing investigation that the police department's conducting over a canine. Please be patient and allow us to do our job. If anybody has any information in regards to that, please contact the police department, and in due time, we'll have our investigation completely finished. That's all I have. Any
Thanks.
questions?
Good here. Thanks, Chief. Councilwoman, anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Community Affairs, we had our meeting this evening. We just did a recap of Creek Fest. It was a beautiful day. Those of you who came out and enjoyed it, it was a fun time had by all. We're just talking about pros and cons for next year. The planning will start now for next year. The only thing else, we have Art in the Park, which is October 11th here at Heritage Park. We have a shredding event that's coming up November 22nd. And more items to come.
Sounds good. Thank you. Councilman?
Finance will meet in 2 weeks, October 16th, and we'll have our meeting Thursday before council meeting at 5 o'clock. And we will also be dealing with, right now, budget season. So we are working with different departments right now to finalize budgets for next year. And we're also looking at stopping some of the spending going forward for certain budgets, again, special approval for things going forward to try to keep us in line and start minimizing and planning for the future of next year to make sure we're in a better situation than where we were this year.
Thank you, sir. Councilman?
Mr. President, good evening. Public Works report, we will meet next Monday at 5 o'clock here. I'd like to thank our Public Works, as always, to how they keep our parks, how they keep the city. I know we are and I say this all the time, we have a very small crew. They are very effective. They save the city a lot of money. They do not actually outsource anything more than they have to. So I appreciate everything that they do. And then I did follow up. I had a resident with a concern on Davis Avenue. I won't say the address or the person's name, but I did follow up with them. They had a concern on a tree that was in a common area, not quite on their property, and potentially was on city property. So we'll get an assessment, and we'll figure out what we need to do moving forward. So thank you. Again, we meet on this. We meet on the 6th at 5 o'clock here. The public is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor?
I see a lot of excited faces out there that probably want to get up and talk and don't want to listen to me. And
That's why I skipped myself, too.
Yeah, so I will just say I'm going to hand it off to our engineer. Well, you have to officially do that, but I'm hoping maybe you have some really great insights for us. But thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. Ed?
Yes.
City engineer?
So I was going to wait to my end of my report, but I know what the mayor is alluding to. So the mayor took the opportunity recently to reach out to the county administrator regarding our project on Shore Road and was able to get us a meeting next week with the county administrator, our team, and the county engineer's office to review the final plan specs, everything that's been submitted over to the county. All the changes have been made. So we're really hoping we come out of this meeting with something set in stone as far as a bid schedule. But we've done everything on our end. So now the ball's in the county's court, and it sounds like they're ready to talk and to get this thing out to bid. So huge deal. And again, for the public, that is to raise Shore Road in the area of Ohio Avenue where it constantly floods. So we'll be raising that road between 1 foot and 2 feet, which will make a huge difference on.
What we were told couldn't be done.
Correct.
We are doing.
That's right. So that was a major milestone. And then just a couple other quick updates. The resolution was on the agenda and passed to award a contract for what it says on the agenda, the City Hall ADA accessible ramp. That project also includes some renovations in the lobby here to make the building more ADA compliant. So the vestibule will be upgraded to current standards as far as accessibility. So we're excited to move forward with that project. We have the flashing crosswalk sign going up on New Jersey Avenue, just still waiting for our county road opening permit to get that work done. It'll be a quick project once we have our permit from the county. We have 2 bid openings on Tuesday, the 25 road program and the Delaware Avenue project. We're opening bids for both those projects Tuesday morning, so we can get those projects into construction, and that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Jessica, administrator report?
Tuesday, we had the retirement of our longtime construction official. We're wishing him the best in the new chapter of his life. We're also welcoming our new construction official, Mr. Pat Malia, to the city of Upseekum. A reminder that fourth quarter sewer bills were due October 1st, but we have a 10-day grace period before penalties are applied. And lastly, we've been getting a lot of calls, and Public Works will begin curbside leaf collection on November the 3rd.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. And here we are. May I hear a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Would anybody from the public like to come up and speak on anything at all that you'd like? Sorry it takes this long. We have to follow the...
That was quick.
And you just provide your name and address when you come up to.
Bob Regone, 800 Shelburne Avenue. So, forgive me for reading, but I'm here today to assist council in finally solving the problem of the speeding through the estate neighborhood on Highland Boulevard and Morton Avenue. Everyone knows that cars, buses, work trucks do not follow the speed limit from New Jersey Avenue to the four-way stop and back from 10th to New Jersey Avenue. I gave council results of a census that I had last fall of 15 residents indicating their preference of stop signs, speed bumps back in January. All of them were thankful that someone was finally tackling the problem. All the residents with access to both streets know there's a problem. Council knows there's a problem. And above all, our police department knows it's a huge problem. Let's solve the problem. Let's talk stop signs. We're asking for 2 stop signs on Highland Boulevard and 2 on Morton. This will put an end to the problem forever. I've been told by council you can't put it in a stop sign to reduce speeding in New Jersey. I'm sure you're not aware of it, but Pahatkan Township in northern New Jersey just placed 22 stop signs in one development to reduce speeding. I called and spoke to their city engineer. He agreed that you can't place a stop sign just for speeding, but he said he got around that issue and the warrants attached to that issue because Powhatan residents cited pedestrian activity, poor sight lines, traffic volume, and speeding for the reasons of the stop sign. Both Highland and Morton have all of these issues. His name is Wayne Ingram, and his number is 732-312-9800 if you wish to speak to him. He's a nice gentleman. So let's talk about the placement of these signs. I recommend 1 on Chelsea and Highland, and 1 on Chelsea and Morton. Why Chelsea? Chelsea Avenue crosses both Morton and Highland. School children cross both streets in order to access the bike path from 15th Street 2 times a day. And Chelsea Road is the only street with access to Highland and Morton from Mill Road. Placing a stop sign in Chelsea will eliminate the problem of speeding from the 4-way to Chelsea and back. If you can just put signs on Chelsea, it won't solve the problem of speeding from New Jersey Avenue to Chelsea on both roads. To alleviate the problem of speeding from New Jersey Avenue to Chelsea on Highland, the other stop sign should be on Shelburne. If you drive down Ambassador and you make the right or left on the Shelburne and go towards Highland Avenue, there's a huge visibility problem on the right. Your car has to be practically in the bike lane to see if anyone is coming down Highland from 10. Let's talk speed bumps. I was told by council that Highland was too wide for a speed bump. If you were to place the speed bump between the inner lines of the bike lanes, that would negate that argument. Look, we have a beautiful and wide bike lanes on New Jersey Avenue, on Highland Boulevard that are not used as residents because they don't want to be walking, riding bikes, pushing baby carriages next to vehicles going 35 to 50 miles an hour. Morton Avenue has no room for biking and or walking. There are no bike lanes, and some of Morton has no sidewalks. I guarantee you that one stop sign won't be sufficient to alleviate the problem, and that two will solve the problem forever. A police presence is just that, and people slow down when seeing the police vehicle. When no police presence there, the result is there's no slowdown. I'd like to know how much does it cost for one sign? My last question is, what is the downside of putting in two stop signs on both streets, which would enhance public safety and put an end to this forever?
Really quick, sir, I thought I wrote down initially 4 stop signs, but then I only wrote 3 specific, which...
Well, the other,
I just want to make sure.
there is no sight problem on Morton Avenue, but there is 2 streets. I was told by council that that 4-way stop sign that we have somewhere in the middle of Absecon Estates, that it was there because there were 2 streets coming together. So you have Shelburne and you have Traymore, there's 2 streets coming together on Morton.
Oh, Shelburne, okay.
So if you put it there, so basically it's 2 stop signs on Shelburne and 2 stop signs on Chelsea for both streets. And it will solve the problem forever.
Can I talk? Good. All right, so Ron, I know you and I spoke a few times on this, and last we spoke was in August, and we had no public works meeting in August to address it.
Right.
And Labor Day's public works meeting September's public works meeting fell on Labor Day, so we did not meet again. In the meantime, Ed, his partner Nick, myself, and I think a few other members from council throughout the time have spoke about different issues with this, and we've already addressed a few things, and we put in for you want to talk about the grant? For the public safety grant for that street?
Mr.
And then I'll talk
Raccoon,
about
we
the other
met in,
stuff.
I think, February earlier this year.
Right.
And based on some of the feedback you provided, we took a look at it at the Public Works Committee and decided that, to go, I would say, above and beyond some of the suggestions that you're making. We applied for $800,000 to install a sidewalk all along Highland Boulevard and on Morton Avenue where the sidewalk is missing. That grant application was submitted to the DOT in June, and we hope to hear back by the end of the year. So that was the grant application that was submitted, and we are in the process of evaluating possible multi-way stops at various locations throughout
We
the
have
city.
3 locations that we're talking about the Public Works meeting on Monday, of which one is on Highland in a certain area, so I don't want to talk about it now because we didn't vote on it yet, but we did recognize an idea, and we were going to try, there's 3 locations we're looking to try different stop signs at throughout town, and one of the areas was Highland and one of the streets.
And
So-
just to clarify for the folks, because there's a lot of new folks in here tonight, so the way Absecon government works is you have the full body council, and then there's committees that are broken up, and 3 council members sit on each committee. And the committee that Alex is referencing is the
Public Works.
Committee. And how the government works in Absecon is an issue like this would go to the committee. The committee, the 3 council members would work with the community and come up with a plan, vote on said plan, and then present it to a full council. So that's kind of the process, how it works. And who's on the
So
committee?
it's Steve, me, and I believe Mike Sykes.
Okay.
So we met.
Just to give you guys clarification.
We met about this because we met with you. We recognize that there's speeding, and you and I both came to the agreement that we really couldn't put a stop sign there because of speeding directly, and Ed agreed to that we could not do it for that. So we looked into reasons why we could do it, and one of the reasons that we thought would be important is the fact that there is school bus stops on that street, that there's a lot of children there, and as a safety precaution to protect the children that are standing there on those corners, that it would make sense to consider putting a stop sign in that area. Plus, there's a sight barrier with the lot right there, people coming. I forget what that one street. I can't say.
We'll talk about it on Monday.
I can't say the street. So, but we recognized that we met with it. We went over. I know Nick and I met over there to look at the speed hump going across. And the way that it's not a speed hump, sorry. It's a raised crosswalk. And the way that it works is it's 5 feet up and 10 feet across, and then 5 feet down. And the length of Highland, we thought based upon their experience, that it would make more sense to try a stop sign versus a raised crosswalk at this time. So we decided we would go with the stop sign first, if it gets approved. And then, once we get this grant, we can look at doing other precautions on that street in addition to what we already recommended. So, that's where we're
I
at.
can address,
course.
Rich,
Yes, sir.
with all due respect, I did go the right route.
Oh, no, I wasn't
I know,
sure.
I'm just
I
telling
was
you.
explaining the
But I'm
crowd.
just telling you, I did go the right route.
Oh, I know you did.
I did go, and 4 times I said to them, will somebody get back to me? Will somebody get back? That night, I got 3 emails. They were supposed to get back to me in June. No one got back to me.
Okay.
So I reached out to Steve and Alex. Alex called me, which was fine. He said he'd get back to me in 2 weeks. I waited a month. That's why everybo's here.
We didn't have the meeting, that was the
I don't
problem.
want to hear, what is the downside to 2 stop signs? Is it cost?
No, it's not that it's cost, you could probably answer better than I
I
can.
mean, generally, so the guidance is not just the state of New Jersey, it's actually federal guidance on warrants for multi-way stops or stop sign placement. Generally, you don't want to indiscriminately place stop signs all over the city because they lose their effectiveness, I guess I could say. So every application is a case by case, so that's what we're evaluating. We're evaluating this specific
Is that a
case.
possibility that we could have 2 on each? Because it's not going to work. One is not going to work because people are going to come flying to that stop sign, then flying to 10th Avenue.
I don't want to preempt the Public Works Committee. I would suggest if you're available, and I know it's tough, if you can make it out to the meeting, we'll have a detailed discussion at that meeting.
To be clear, the Public Works meeting is open to the public.
100%,
I was there.
correct.
It's
Hey,
5.
Kevin,
I was there.
That's where this all started.
So everybody knows, it's 5 PM this coming Monday.
Okay.
Just to clarify 2 things. One, Mr. Ringo, that was for the public.
Right.
Explain it to them. And then 2, what I will absolutely emphasize, and we have the bruises and scars to prove it, this council more than ever does not skimp when it comes to public safety, and money is not been a remote issue when it comes to safety. So I can assure you, whether a stop sign costs $7 or $7,000, that is not remotely factored into any decision when it comes to speeding or public safety on the streets of Absecon. So I just want to clarify that.
So what happens if we go to Public Works and they recommend the 4 stop signs? Does it come to council then?
Yeah, so they would then put together the package and then the cost, and then they would say, this is what we recommend, and then just like we voted on things tonight, it would just be added to the agenda. We would all vote on it, yes, and then the engineer would then move forward with the project.
I'll preempt you real quick. We focused, when you and I spoke, and we focused on certain areas of town, one being Bayview and one being Morden. I'm sorry, Highland. We didn't focus on Morden yet. Morden was secondary during the meeting. You wanted Morden, but it was kind of secondary, so that wasn't one of our priorities, so I did not do a study with the engineer. We did not meet people out on Morden. We focused on Highland, and we focused on Bayview. So to be completely upfront with you, Morden's probably not even going to be talked about at the Public Works meeting right now. You can
This
bring-
time, 'cause I'll
Yeah,
be there.
you can bring it up, but we don't have, you know what I'm saying? We don't have it. I can't answer you that
On
one.
Bayview, where is that stop sign?
Bayview and Hobart.
And what is the issue there?
Site issue, because you're coming down a hill and people coming this way, so there's a lot of school kids there. There's bus stop there as well, which also falls in line with why we're looking at Highland and why we're looking at a street there off Highland where a bus stop is. So we think that that's our 2 avenues to go that will get approved by all the guidelines, and I'm pretty confident that the Public Works Committee is on board with it, and you and I can make the sale on Monday together.
Okay, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Thank you.
It's 5 o'clock on Monday?
5 o'clock Monday.
Appreciate it.
And then if you want to come back with the Morden one at that meeting, then we can.
I will.
Let's focus on the 3 we're going to get, but you can put the Morden one up again.
Let's focus on all of them, get it over with. I mean, why are we
Because
waiting?
it's not as easy as people think, as I could just go put a stop sign in a yard. It's not, it's a lot of time by them doing studies, other people meeting that, it's not as easy as you and I saying, hey, I want a stop sign here, and it happens. We got a grant for a flashing yellow my first month on council, and now I'm going on 2 years, and it's still not in. I mean, things do take long in government. I hate to say this excuse, because I'm in the business world, like you were in the business world, and things happen fast. In government, it just doesn't. I mean, I don't know what to say. It tries.
So we recommend bringing it up.
Yeah, I'm on board with that one too, but we just didn't focus on that one. I focused on the other ones, to be honest.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Anybody else? Yep. Just name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Richard Young, 902 Highland Boulevard. First of all, I'd like to commend the Public Works Department. You guys do a bang-up job. We all appreciate it. But the reason I'm here tonight is for the speeders on Highland Boulevard. I'd like to know why there would be, are there any objections to putting in addition to the stop signs, speed bumps on Highland Boulevard?
Good.
So there's a,
About the width of the street.
Yeah, the width of the street was what the first issue was, as wide the street is, and the fact that we put a grant in for that street, so we were figuring out what the game plan was going to be with that grant. So we're not saying it's not happening.
Highland Boulevard.
Correct.
So the main objective is the width of Highland Boulevard? Yes?
We applied for a grant to do multiple
Right,
safety factors, which I don't know what we're allowed to say, but like this
No,
is a top priority.
there's no secrets here. So we looked at possibly doing raised crosswalks, like Alex said, or speed humps across Highland Boulevard. And as we looked at it, we realized there's other concerns there. There's no sidewalk, pedestrian safety, and we said this project, as a comprehensive plan, would be a good grant application to send into the state to potentially do a lot more than just a speed hump. Now, whether or not we end up doing a speed hump, that's something we'll need to discuss if and when we get the grant. If we don't get the grant, then we can go back to and discuss just doing something like a speed hump. But we didn't want to start with a piecemeal approach if we were going to do a much larger, more comprehensive improvement project on Highland Boulevard, so that whatever we ended up doing would mesh with the larger plan. For example, I'll just throw an example out there. When you have a wide street like that and crosswalks across the street, one of the recommendations sometimes is what's called a pedestrian refuge island. I'm not saying we would do this, but that would be so that if someone was crossing the street and all of a sudden a car came flying down the street, they had somewhere in the middle of the street that they could sit and wait safely so that they don't get hit by a car. And I'm not saying we're going to do that, but if we did decide we were going to do something like that, we wouldn't want to put a speed hump in and then have to tear it out to put the island in. So it's just, we didn't want to move forward with any piecemeal approach before seeing if we got the grant and then evaluating a more comprehensive improvement plan for Highland Boulevard from a safety standpoint.
And how long have we been evaluating this process?
We applied for the grant in June.
Okay.
Just started.
Good. I went over and measured the speed bumps over on John Gorman Boulevard, or Way. And the speed bumps, there's two of them, and they're 25 feet across. I measured in front of my house from the outside line of the bike path to the center line in the middle of the street. And it's 11 foot wide. So 11 foot on one side, 11 foot on the other. So we have 22 feet. For the life of me, I can't understand how, the width becomes an argument against a speed bump on
John
on
Gorman
Highland
Way
Boulevard.
is a private street,
Right.
so it's a lot less.
The rules are a little different on public streets.
The end result is the same, though.
I agree with you. I could say all we want to do. We want to we want speed humps, we want stop signs, and we want sidewalks on Island Boulevard. It's just not as fast. I wish it was faster.
And a lot of people,
I mean, I'm a
honestly,
businessman. I'm
Mr. Young,
worse than him. This kills me.
a lot of
having
people-
to look at you and say, sorry, it's taking too long. And I completely agree with Mr. Rangone. The easiest way to do this is let's get a couple more stop signs up there. I am completely with you, sir.
And Mr. Young, we have met with people on that street that actually have opposed having a speed hump because they don't want it in front of their house because of the noise. As crazy as that sounds, there is people that live on Highland that do not want a speed hump. There's actually people in Highland,
Speed bump in what, in front of their house, or just a speed bump in general on Highland Boulevard?
speed bump near their house.
Okay,
It's
well,
fine, you can have
I
it.
volunteer to be the first house on Highland Boulevard to put a speed bump in front of, and I'm sure I can find, a few other individuals that would volunteer to have it.
You know it's coming.
Huh? What's that?
Your neighbor across the street.
Yeah.
So talk to that guy across the street, he might not want one. It's not,
I was waiting for that.
and as you think it's that easy, people don't even want to, there's how many people live on Highland Boulevard? Let's be honest here. We'll say 50? How many people in the crowd right now from Highland Boulevard? 6?
Just because the people don't show up doesn't indicate, that doesn't mean
No,
that
no,
we
I'm just,
don't
I'm
want a
saying,
speed bump.
but he sent the letter out. I mean, if there was 25, 30, 40 people here, and everyone says, hey, look, let's put, there is people that are, honestly, you don't, I mean.
Are you saying that if, in fact, there were 40 people here on any given time, for this particular issue, that we would have speed bumps?
No, I'm saying that there's people that don't want it. Just, Rich Young does want it, but there is somebody that doesn't want it also, is what I'm saying.
But they don't want it because of the fact that they don't want it in front of their house, not that they don't want it because they object to speed bumps.
Yeah, they don't want it in front of their house.
Exactly. But they wouldn't have any objections to having a speed bump.
A lot of people.
We're hypothetically talking here, that's fine. That's,
Gotta go in front of somebody's
it
house.
doesn't make any sense to
Yeah,
talk
and,
hypothetically.
I'm sure we could find enough people to put it in front of their house that would have absolutely no objections. About 5 years ago, in front of my house, I was gardening.
That's where I was thinking.
And I took a break,
where I was thinking,
and
too.
literally within 10 minutes after I left the end of my property, a person came down 10th at a high rate of speed, bounced off of 2 cars in front of Smitty's house, and literally ended up 8 feet in the trees on my property. And, this,
Listen, that's why we've had cops out there. Like, we're trying to do things. It's not like we're not doing anything. We are doing.
it's not like we have a situation where we're waiting for serious accidents to happen. Serious accidents have happened on Highland Boulevard, and we're way past the time of trying to figure out what's the best solution here. I think we all know that there's a couple viable solutions, and we should act as quickly as we can.
And I think the government's slow, but I'll put it this way, we are pretty green in the grand scheme of being here, correct? And the amount of work, and it doesn't seem, like, it's hard to see, but the amount of public safety measures we have taken to try and slow people down, we've done quite a few, it just takes forever to get them done. And Highland Boulevard, I'm looking you in the eye, because I know you're not a BS guy, we have been talking all year.
He doesn't know me that well.
We've been talking all year about a very good plan with our engineer about the perfect solution for Highland, trying to get you speed humps, stop signs, and a sidewalk down there. We have to apply for grants. The city's broke, but we're going to do whatever we can. Stop signs is a great, cheap first
step. We thought the stop sign's the first step. Ron and I talked about the stop sign. That was the first step. And we start there. If we get the safety grant and we could put 2 speed humps in, I think that would solve the problem as well.
One last thing, guys. The electric bikes on Highland Boulevard. And it's only a recent problem, but I'm telling you, somebody is going to get seriously hurt. Not only are they speeding, but half the time, they're on the wrong side of the street. So you go out and you look to your left to see if any vehicles are coming, and coming down from the right are these electric bikes. And they're a lot of times, they're going faster than what the cars are going down. So,
It's an epidemic every town. It's bad.
What can we do about it? We know it's a problem. What can we do about it?
I don't mean to speak out of turn here, because I haven't had an opportunity, but I think it was Tuesday, I got my hands on the ordinance that Linwood has already passed I submitted it to Lieutenant Hink, I think, or Captain Mazer, and we're going to discuss it, and I was actually going to present it to you guys in the Public Works meeting. So the Public Works Committee and Public Safety, which is right after, so stay on. I always said last year, come for Public Works, stay for Public Safety. We're going to review this ordinance. There's a lot of it that doesn't apply.
And
A lot of it does apply.
We also, Lieutenant Hink and I met and we talked about doing a class they're going to do over at the school to educate these kids on the responsibilities. I know he's back there. I don't want to put you on the spot, Hank, but I don't know if you want to mention that or.
So I'll speak
Okay.
upon this too. An article came out today in Union County banned all electric bikes and scooters because of the fatal accidents and the serious accidents. The state is actually working on
Legislation.
updating the laws so that we can, make these things more enforceable. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to see other counties that are going to follow suit with banning them altogether, because they're a problem everywhere.
And it's just not kids.
No, it's adults.
it's everybody. I come out.
Adults, I mean, it's their, it's their transportation, and I get that, but, let's follow the laws of the road on this.
To that point too, guys, so there's been a lot of municipalities throughout the state, to the chief's point, that are trying to urge state legislators to act on this because it's contemplated. You could do essentially a resolution as a governing body just encouraging them to take action, which you're seeing in a lot of other towns.
Oh, okay.
So if that's something you're interested in, we could always do that and send it off to our legislators.
Let's bring that up in public safety.
All right, that's all I have, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Thanks
for coming.
your time.
Oh, thank you.
for coming.
And I'll make sure Public Works, here's your kudos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. Anybody else? Say he covered everything.
We got an expert resident, he doesn't have anything, come on. Well, no, I was looking at the other engineer in the room. Yeah, actually, sir,
Actually,
Oscar, come on up. Yeah,
Linwood did have cops that were on the bike path that were stopping scooters and everything, letting them know.
Can you
Come on up.
just your name and address first, that's all.
yeah.
I live in 1008 Chelsea Road in Apsecan. To most part, they do put boards up letting the kids know they need helmets at a certain age. The cops would stop them and report them and say, go home, get your helmets. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but to most part, they have a lot of stop signs there, even at the school that they installed lights, flashing lights.
Blinking ones,
This has
yeah.
got to stop. And again, you have main highways that they did it for mainland. You do it on the bike path. They do a lot of them. And they have stop signs that have a flashing light. As soon as a car comes, the sensor comes on. Now, all of a sudden, they see that there's a light there. A lot of people get killed there. And this is something that we're all looking forward to having. So I think the sooner the better. So if you can get the stuff moving, let's go.
I mean, we're moving.
Even with the stop signs, flashing lights make a big difference. The sensors aren't much more in price, so.
I yelled at the county administrator last week, he's a little scared of me, I think I can get that.
Oh, good. That's
moved,
what,
too.
Yeah, it's,
Again, being here on Monday or at 5 o'clock, I'll be here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and again.
I appreciate you coming.
The bikes, I know it's 2 hours and this is.
Right now, we want to get the stop signs
They're
down
gonna
so they
get-
can, because they shouldn't be
Public
great,
Works-
and then just travel right through
So
the stop.
Public Works will be the placement at 5 of the stop signs, crosswalks. But like when we want to discuss the bikes, directly after Public Works goes into Public Safety. So Councilwoman Parker runs that and she'll be happy to
Okay.
go over
That'd be
with it.
awesome. All
I
right.
did like your idea, sir, if you want it to be heard. Excuse me.
I said about the park.
I spoke with this gentleman earlier.
thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Oscar Molyneux. I live at 1100 Chelsea Road. I got here a little early, and I got a chance to meet the new mayor. And it was nice talking to him. Being here, I learned about the complexity of it. It's not easy. I worked in transportation when a referendum was passed for casino gaming. I worked for the county in transportation. I had to report to Trent back and forth, and we changed two-way streets to one-way streets. I've been away from that for a while. We have a residence in Portland, Maine. I'm up there all the time doing elder care. And there's a street where there are bumps, what do you call them, bumps?
Speed bumps.
And speed bumps. And I come from the airport in my rental car or whatever, and it's 45 miles an hour, and then it's like, zing, be careful, you're gonna tear this car up.
Oh, yeah.
So speed bumps do work. It's a part of the solution. Trust me when I tell you, it's in a heavily residential area that you're going through, but it works.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're unfamiliar with it, it'll slow you down. But also in reference to Morton Avenue, every now and then you'll see these signs out here that'll say, you're doing 25 miles an hour. And then it'll say, and thank you. And boy, that's refreshing. It's like, wow. But by the same token, I've been here 50 years in the area. I'm originally from New York City. In New York City, if you're speeding or take a red light, you get a thing in the mail because it's on camera.
I don't think you can.
And I don't know so much about, that'll get your attention because I'm old enough to know that if you get a moving violation, that's serious.
Red light cameras got banned in New Jersey.
They did.
Yeah.
Say
I
that
hate to
please.
break it to you, sir. Yeah, I was loving everything. Red light cameras were in New Jersey for a little while, and then ultimately,
They're not allowed.
I don't know the full background, but they became banned. They're illegal to have red light cameras in New Jersey.
It's a solution.
I know. I'm with you.
It's not
I'm with you
always
100%.
the person who owns the car is driving the car.
If you don't pay your cable bill, your TV goes off. You don't pay your light bill, your lights go off. If you get a ticket,
Yep. No, I'm
Would fund another 10 jobs.
so
with you.
is that it? I mean, I'm talking about not as far as council is concerned and the mayor. Is that it? And can that be undone? I know there are privacy issues.
At the state
So
level.
what?
The
We don't-
state level, yeah, that could be a
It's the state.
Yes, sir. It's the New Jersey legislature.
Yeah.
They originally passed it, the red light cameras were in effect, and then they passed a law banning them,
So
and then they
that's
were.
why we have elections.
But no, I appreciate your comments, and to your point, absolutely, speed humps work. I mean,
Oh, they do. As a matter of fact, if you come from Galloway, heading south to go down Morton Avenue, it's 35 miles an hour
yeah.
coming in. And every now and then, I've got to pick up the kids from school or whatever, and I go, oh, wow, I'm still doing 30. I'm doing 25. And I don't want to get a ticket to remind me
Oh, yeah.
that I'm doing 5 or 10.
Absolutely.
So, that's what I've got to say. I know there's a meeting on Monday, the mayor told me, but I was going to hammer that away. I heard, and then I'm going to go, because there's another gentleman that wants to speak. Somebody said budget's not the issue. I think the number of 800,000 came up. I said, well, that solves the problem right there. Get some cameras. Because I got once you got cameras, and it's like, start getting those tickets out. And I know that there is it doesn't make sense to me, though.
Well, it's not- think about it. It's not always the same person that's driving the car that owns the car. So you're sending a ticket, let's say somebody borrows your car. Now you're going to get the ticket in the mail. You weren't the one driving the car.
Yeah, I used to think like that too. I used to think like that, but the bottom line is safety, is public safety.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't
But you're
matter.
mailing a ticket to somebody who wasn't even on that street.
I've lent a cousin or two my car back when I was. What is this?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And I'm responsible for it. But I'm saying it's about public safety. I have 4 children. I have 4 children. I live on Morton Avenue. And, I'm becoming familiar with the Ritz thing. But Morton Avenue, it's like, I got signs out that say children at play and this, that, and the other. But somebody brought up the electric bikes. So, it's totally off the hook. But if I lend somebody I don't have one anymore, but if I lend somebody my electric bike and they smashed into it's public safety. Pure and simple, and it should be some pushback and a hard line with the state.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
sir.
much, everybody.
One thing I will do for any folks in the room that came tonight to discuss this, and then realizing that there's going to be an in-depth conversation on Monday night, and recognizing that not everybody has the time in the world. After this meeting, if you can't make Monday, you can give me your email address, and I will ensure that the committee provides me notes from the meeting, and I will email you guys the notes from the meeting, so that way you can at least have a participation without actually having to show up. We'll do that tonight, because I recognize you're here, and then you bouncing back and forth. Anybody else? Ed?
I'll just make a quick comment coming up while the gentleman's coming up. I've been the city engineer here for over 20 years, which makes me feel really old. But at various times throughout those 20 years, we've had people from the public ask for speed humps around town. And this is just a fact. This is the first governing body that's moving forward with speed humps in Absecon. We have a grant. We're doing about 10 speed humps throughout the city. That project will be going out to bid soon.
I was going to say that.
So, I mean,
speed humps aren't foreign to this governing body. We're about
so I can tell you that
town.
this governing body agrees with a lot of what's being said, and we're moving forward. I know you haven't seen it yet. Everyone keeps saying things take time, but you will see speed humps throughout the city, and I'm sure we'll see how those go. We heard, some people like them, some people don't, but I'm sure, their effectiveness, we may move forward with another phase, who knows, but it's not a maybe it will happen. It's happening. I mean, the plans are almost done, and we'll be going out to bid soon, so.
Ed took my closing speech.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Name and address, please.
My name is John Powell, live at 1100 New York Avenue. I'm a block away from the stop signs on Highland Boulevard. They were great when they were installed, but I live a block away, and I'm telling you, sometimes from that stop sign to my street, they're doing like 40 miles an hour already. They're flying down there. And if you're just going to talk about putting stop signs on Highland Boulevard, they're just going to use Morton even more. You're just going to squeeze them over there more. So you got to talk about Morton Avenue too. Sometimes I'm afraid to step off my curb when I'm cutting my grass. They come flying so fast. I don't know whether they're looking down at their cell phones or whatever, but people are flying. I got neighbors that have little kids.
Oh, yeah.
It's very disturbing. I don't see a lot of cops out there. I'm not saying that they're not, but maybe enforce it more. Maybe, when the stop signs were first put up, I saw some cops, hiding on Ritz or Highland, making some arrests. I don't see it that much anymore. So I think if you're just talking about putting them on Highland, they're just going to use Morton more. And they're even using Ritz now, where they don't even go down Morton. They make a right on Ritz to get to Route 30. And that's going to be like the next speedway.
It's going to happen. We're going to stop on Highland, then we're going to stop sign on Morton, and then we're going to be stuck with Ritz, and then Ritz is going to be...
There is, I see a certain police officer sits on Ritz and faces the four-way stop there, so they do move around. I mean, I live right in that neighborhood too. I do see at least once a day police in either Highland or Ritz or Morton. Are you going to see them every single time you drive by? No, but they're present because I have a baby and I walk every single day. So I walk down Highland, I walk down Morton, I walk down Ritz. They're there every single time I walk.
And the only other thing that I'll comment on the police side is we recently hired 6 new police officers. So when speaking about money and public safety not being an issue, we hired more police officers than the past 25 years in the city of Absecon this year alone by hiring 6. They graduated the academy and they're currently in their field training. Is that what it would be called?
Yeah.
They're in their field training, and the plan is to have these folks enforcing traffic.
I think we have a traffic unit too, right?
Here. So I want to say this, first and foremost, this governing body and the mayor has finally heard us as far as public safety. In 1990 to 95, we had 28 full-time officers. I can tell you since the beginning of the year up until today, we have been running with 23 to 24 officers. And you talk about time and training and everything else. We hired 6 officers in January. They're getting their way through their field training program, and it should be done in November. We had another officer leave in the summertime. I have another one in the academy, first time ever where we have replaced somebody right away. And I think it's important to remember that our little town has grown with so many other problems over the years, and none of the investment was back into our police department to preserve that public safety until now. So, what you're going to see is you're going to see more officers. With that, we have other things that we had to deal with as far as, family leave and people having children and military leave and all that. But by adding these other officers and getting into 32 full-time officers, the reality is we don't want to raise taxes because of the police department, but if we want to preserve our town, we need to be in that 36 to 40 range of officers so that we can continue to, make this safety of this town. And I want to thank the governing body and the mayor for taking these steps to where we are today because, it went unheard in the past.
And the last thing I'll say, sir, is I'll be honest with you, and to everybody in this room, I get a significant amount of emails weekly from residents, and speeding is the number one issue I receive emails about. And that is why we've been clumping them together and working on the speed humps, the stop signs, the raised crosswalks, and things like that. So it is not falling on deaf ears. I can absolutely promise on behalf of this entire governing body that it is not falling on deaf ears, because we recognized, all of us, over the past 2 years, speeding is the number one issue we get contacted about, and we have been looking at it from a strategic standpoint where, where do we, I don't want to use the word invest because that implies money, but where do we start? And then where do we go from? And we have to have a 30,000-foot view. Otherwise, to Ed's point, we could backtrack. So it is not falling on deaf ears. We hear you loud and clear, and we want exactly what you want. And I genuinely mean that.
All right, I appreciate that. Last thing is, Fridays is like the worst. Rush hour, we're flying down there.
And you going Highland, or you're talking Morton? Which one are you talking now?
Morton. I live on Morton.
Okay. Well, we can get, I mean, the man's here, he can get people out there. So. You're asking the right guy, he's right there.
Honestly, based on the statistics that I saw today, it's unacceptable in both areas. And, I have officers out there in both areas, on a weekly basis. Unfortunately, that's not the only place that people complain about. They complain about all over town. And, again, with the limited staff, we try our best to be out there. But I'm going to apologize to everybody that lives in that area that it's a problem. We know it's a problem, but, we have to deal with so many different things. And, I assure you that we continue to try to be out there as much as we can.
Chief, I can attest to the fact that on Highland Boulevard.
Hold on. We have to do this the correct way, one at a time. That's all right. You can come back up, but we just have to do it once at a time.
I can attest to the fact that the police are out on Highland Boulevard almost on a daily basis, and for, half hour at a stretch, and, that's appreciated. Do you have any statistics, though, on the number of cars that are pulled over as opposed to the number of cars that actually receive a ticket?
We sure do. We sure do. And they're both, I don't have it with me, obviously, but it's alarming. Both of them are alarming. Because, I warn the public every meeting that to please take into consideration the pedestrians in that area and all over town. And we still have people that just, ignore all that, so.
I'd like to know how many, like I said, how many people are actually pulled over, and then how many are actually given tickets, because pulling somebody over certainly, puts the fear of God into you when you see that, those lights going off, but, at the end of the day, if there's no punishment associated with getting caught going 50 miles an hour down on Highland Boulevard, it serves no purpose.
The chief doesn't have those numbers on him, but what I will tell you is that I read the police report.
Great, I'll be there.
Walking into here, I read the police report, and these numbers aren't exact, but it was close to double. So like 385 stops equated to close to 500 traffic tickets for the last month.
Gotcha.
That's very close to the numbers. Yep.
No.
And one last thing.
Other way, right?
No.
500 stops,
Not this month.
385
It was
tickets.
mentioned
How
that
could there be tickets when
sidewalks
you
are a
stop?
possibility going on Highland Boulevard.
Yes. Double tickets?
I thought you were an officer for a day.
That's the first I've heard about it, sidewalks on Highland Boulevard.
It's
Apply for a grant.
the infant stage of ideas.
That wasn't the question.
Once we get that.
Once we get the grant, then we'll go for it.
Well, that's we look at what we can afford to do through the
Can you put them on the other side of my street?
I was gonna say, man, he don't want it on his grass.
He'll take the hump, but not the sidewalk.
That's what I was gonna say.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Would anybody else from the public like to speak?
Comes the closer.
Are we closing this?
Comes the closer.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Andy Previty. I live at 839 Plaza Place. My house sits on Highland Boulevard, and on our side, Plaza has been vacated. I'm here to support the other folks who spoke about Highland Boulevard, the situation there. And my perspective is different. I'm a professional engineer licensed to practice in New Jersey. Actually sat in Mr. Dennis's seat for 6 years back in the late 90s. My perspective is a little different because it comes from a professional standpoint, but as a resident, I'm out, and the mayor sees me out there quite a bit in my front yard doing gardening work. And I get the chance to see what actually happens there. And a lot of times there are children on their bicycles on the bike lanes driving with their parents. And on a couple of occasions, I have seen folks who are driving the speed limit being passed by vehicles crossing the double line at 50, 60 miles an hour on that street. My presence tonight kind of opens my eyes to what you're doing to address these issues. The police presence there in the past a year and a half has been, I think, a blessing and has really done a nice job. But as the chief said, you can't have somebody there all the time. So it's a multifaceted approach that I think you're taking.
Yes, sir.
The stop sign issue is a relatively simple one that you can implement because you don't need state approval anymore. You can do that on your own after you do your necessary studies and necessary warrants are met to install those stop signs. One of the issues that I think, I don't know if it has been brought up, but there's an issue with sight lines due to the geometry of Highland Boulevard. The intersecting streets that intersect Highland do not intersect it at 90-degree angles. And depending upon where you're coming from, whether you're coming from Haddon Avenue toward Highland or whether you're coming from Ambassador toward Highland, looking right or left, it's difficult to see oncoming traffic. And if that traffic is coming at a high rate of speed, it's difficult for you to judge the speed that they're in, the distance that there are. And what makes it more difficult is that there are high points on Highland Boulevard. It's called a vertical curve that it prevents you from seeing vehicles coming on toward you. So the combination of the people speeding with the geometry and the sight line reduction, I think is enough warrants to establish stop sign at a strategic location. And that's something that Mr. Dennis can advise you about. So like I say, you opened my eyes tonight to, and maybe I need to come to more meetings so that I get a better idea of what's going on. But I applaud you for your efforts, and I hope you can move forward with establishing, in a relatively short term, some kind of stop signage along Highland Boulevard, because it's a problem, and I see it just about every day I'm out there. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President,
Would any,
can I make a comment at some point?
sure, name and address, please?
The comment that I would like to make is the little town I grew up in is Brigantine. You go over the bridge and you go over 45, zero tolerance. You go down Bayshore Avenue, over 25-ish, you're zero tolerance. So it might not be popular, but once we get all of our officers in place, I can't make that decision. If we put a zero tolerance in, and it would be like hammer time. So we just basically zero tolerance and have a slight cushion, and then no matter who you are, no matter what, you're going to get a ticket, and you just dial everybody in. So again, you go over the bottom of the Brigantine, you come over the bridge. If you go over 45, you know what you're going to get. So that would simplify a lot of things moving forward. I don't have that authority, but at some point, once we get all of our officers in place and we go with zero tolerance throughout our whole community, then I think it would actually be effective as well as these other.
Am I going down Highland Boulevard?
Yeah.
Every night at this time, it starts.
It's the same bike every night.
We're finishing up now. Like I said, if you can't make Monday, please come see me afterwards. I'll take down your email address and I'll be sure to give you an update. May I hear a motion to close this meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? May I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.